Aboru Aboye, how are you guys doing today? I welcome you to this episode of Isheshe Talks. In the first episode, we talked about how it begins, which we talked about Esentai. In the second one, we talked about what next, where we talked about Itefa. In this one now, in this episode now, we are talking about going into the journey, which I captioned the worship of Orisa through Ifa. Why did I say the worship of Orisa through Ifa? Let me take you back a little bit to the Itefa. I said that the Itefa is just getting those informations for you. So now they are helping you get those information so you can use it as you go into your journey. But now, how are you going to make use of these informations in your journey? Because majority of the people think that Itefa is all about that you do the Itefa, I should do my Oseifa, I should give my Ifa equal and Eja. No, it does not work like that. It does not work like that. You need to understand that during your Itefa, they said you're a child of Oya, and you think that immediately you need to do initiation to Oya. No, it does not work that way. Understand that Oya, Shango, Obatala, they were Irumoless. But at the time that they want to come into Ile-Aye, where human beings are existing, and they want to coexist with human beings in Ile-Aye, they didn't come as an Irumole. They came into the world as an Orisha. And they did not even just come as an Orisha. Don't let us put it that way. They came into the world the same way me and you came into this world. They were given birth to by a woman. They did their Kosejaye, which is their Esentai. When it was time for them to go into the world, they did their Itefa for them. Barely. They did their Itefa for them. After their Itefa, they started their journey into like achieving their destiny, which is them being an Orisha in Ile-Aye. So it is more like they are activating their power as an Irumole, but they are activating it in Ile-Aye. But now it is a journey so that they can become Obatala, they can become an Orisha. That's why some Irumole came to Ile-Aye, but they couldn't become an Orisha. They did not. Because they could. The ones that we know, like Obatala, they are the ones that live life like they achieved their purpose in Ile-Aye and they became an Orisha. So we need to understand that this same thing is what we too as humans we are meant to do. So when they tell you that you are a child of Obatala, they are not just telling you to go and feed Obatala, they are telling you to talk to your Babalawo, tell them to give you the informations and the philosophy of Obatala that are documented into Ifa. Read them, understand them, and start doing some mental hard work. Because the problem is that you people only do physical hard work, which is working out to get money to feed Ifa. That's just one side. You need to do the mental hard work. Getting this information about this Orisha they said you are affiliated to and applying it to your own life. The things the places where Obatala made mistake, the places where Obatala did this, the places, because they, like I said, they were given birth to by a woman too when they want to come into Ile-Aye to become an Orisha. So they made mistakes like us. You need to understand that. So you need to use their philosophical documentations that is documented into Ifa to navigate through life. This is the next stage. It's not just to be fine. You can feed Ifa. You can feed Ifa once in a while. But the most important thing is that do you understand the philosophy? Just because they say you are a daughter of Oshun doesn't mean the next thing is Oshun initiation. No. You need to understand Oshun. You need to apply Oshun lifestyle to your life. That is why we encourage you people to, engage in online courses about all these Orishas. It's not just throwing money to Babalawo to do able, and the problems keep reoccurring. It's because you don't understand yourself. You don't know who you are. Itefa has given you the information that, you are this, you are that. So now you have to use this information to do some mental hard work. And how can you do this mental hard work? To source for the information, then go into the information and dig deep into it, understand it, and apply it to your life. I think that is the next stage, because we need to understand that it's just like when they say electricity is produced by positive and negative. Living in Ilaye is spiritual and physical. Because now, the person I'm talking to now that is listening to this podcast is in the physical. And I'm talking about the spiritual. Stop paying so much attention to the spiritual and forgetting about the physical. The physical is where you apply the philosophy into your life. Ifa is not just spiritual aspect. It has a philosophical aspect. You need to apply the philosophy into your life. Because that is how you can, that is how you can make this journey swift. This is how our forefathers did it then. This is how our forefathers did it. And we need to start applying it into our life. Because if we don't understand these little basics, if we go into the much complicated topics, you will just be lost. And I found that people just ask unreasonable questions that doesn't really matter. And nobody is ready to talk to you guys about this, because everybody are money driven. They just want you to come and do a ball. They want you to come and do initiation. I've seen people that have like 20 initiations on their head. They do initiation of things, Orisha, they do not even understand. Because when they did it, they talked about Oshun, they talked about Oya, they talked about only you is doing all this initiation. The initiation is not the solution. Like I said, I've told many people times without number. One initiation, Itefa initiation is okay. Itefa initiation, if at a point they tell you are a child of Oshun or Batala, it means that understand this Orisha. Understand them to some certain point, maybe once in a while, venerate them by feeding them, but apply their philosophy into your life. It's as simple as that. If people can follow everything I've said, in 2-3 years you come back with testimony. You give me this testimony. So I think this is where we'll be ending this episode. And if there's anything you guys don't understand, don't hesitate to reach out to me on my social media platform. And reach out to me on Instagram is @TechBee Movement. Facebook is @TechBee Movement. TikTok is @TechBee Movement. You can go to my page @techbee.ng. You can reach out to me on this Spotify you are listening to. You can comment. I will see your comment. See? Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Ireo.